Hi, this is Mike Marshev, and this is the sales meeting for May 29th, 2013. We have just concluded the meeting, and as luck would have it, it did not record. And as far as I know, this is the first time that's happened. So I'm going to go through an abbreviated speed up of the sales meeting and hopefully hit most of the high points so that the folks that are coming in on the recording won't feel cheated. It's very important to understand that if you don't step out in front of an audience, if you don't step up to the microphone, nobody's going to hear you. How do you expect anybody to hear you if you don't take your future in your own hands? Now, we can wish and we can hope and we can want, we can do all kinds of things, but you are in position. You have to be in position. You have to put yourself in position to make things happen in your favor. It'd be nice if other people are going to do it, but they're not. There's too much noise. There's too much competition. There's too much going on today. Your future is in your hands. So if you don't step up to the microphone, how do you expect anybody to hear you? And that calls for getting out of your comfort zone. We're all comfortable in what we know how to do and what's easy for us. But in many cases, that's not necessarily what's best for us. Emails, sales, public speaking, trade shows, sales letters, postcards. There are a number of ways for you to get out in front of audiences. And that's exactly what you have to do. Because I said it 1,000 times, not enough people know you're alive. If you want to have more business, if you want to earn more money for your family, for your family's fun, for your family's eating habits, you have to make it happen. So swallow whatever it is that's stopping you and get out. Get up first, get out and make more people glad they know you by sharing good information. So that was our first slide this afternoon. And the second slide is a whack in the head, a reminder, if you will, that if 5 months are already in the past rear view mirror, this is the year 2013, and 5 out of the 12 months are history. You can't do anything about it. There's no use looking over our shoulder. But we do have 7 months in front of us. And what you do with those 7 months is what's important. And instead of looking at 7, let's just look at June. What are you going to do in June to make a difference, to get out of your comfort zone, to meet more people, to meet the right people? What are you going to do? I want you to sit down this afternoon or over the weekend and decide, why is June going to be different than May or April or March or February or January? What are you going to do that's different, that's new and exciting? You have 7 months in front of you. I'll say it again. If you don't do it, it's not going to get done. So this is a little schematic to realize you still have plenty of time, but we have to get started in June, which is creeping up in the next few days. I highlighted in today's meeting that first impressions are important. They're not the most important thing. Last impressions are what's most important, but the first impressions get us to first base and we move along. And I cited a true life example that happened in my life this morning, and that was we called for a doctor's appointment, and the way that the receptionist answered the phone had my wife hang up saying, well, you're not going to that doctor. Ladies and gentlemen, how you come across to people in the first few seconds, by your mannerisms, by your speech, by your eyesight, by your handshake, by the clothes you wear, by the smile, by the questions you ask, how you position yourself as the caring, sincere, squared away, confident individual that you are is going to make all the difference in the world. And I get my back up when I hear people say, well, it's just business. Don't take it personally, it's business. Well, that's baloney. Business is personal. My eating habits are personal. Meeting people is personal, and screwing people up is not the thing to do. I don't care what shingle you hang it under, business or otherwise. You do wrong, and you are wrong. It is personal. Make it personal. And then when you meet somebody the first time, put your heart on your sleeve. Tell them who you are. Buy it or not buy it, I don't care, but this is who I am. You've got to go out in the marketplace. You're not here to cheat me, manipulate me. You're not here to fast talk me. You're not here to take money from me that's not earned. You're here to help me. Now, if I don't want your help, that's my problem. That's not your problem. So the first impressions, when the phone rings, that's a great example. Don't multitask. When that phone rings, you make a decision. Am I going to answer it or am I not going to answer it? But if you decide to answer the phone, you better stop doing everything you're doing and focus on what it is you're doing, because you're making an impression that's going to affect your eating habits for a lot of years ahead. You must answer that phone the professional way, and that is with courtesy, with your name, with interest, with questions. Put down whatever it is you're doing and focus on who's on that phone call. Out of 7 billion phone numbers, they thought enough of you to dial your 7 digits. So the least you can do is give them the courtesy of your attention while you're on the phone. That doctor's office were big shots. Well, they're not getting my money because the way they answered the phone. And whose fault is that? That's management's fault. That's not whoever the receptionist was. That was, well, it might be her fault, I don't know. But I'm going to blame it on up top. No training. And if you haven't trained your people, it's time you start training them. You've heard me say this: a fish stinks from the head down. What does that mean? It means show me an executive that's squared away, I'll show you someone down the ladder that's squared away. Show me someone down the ladder who's not squared away, and I'll show you an executive staff who is not squared away. It all works in sync. So if you're not training your people, it's high time you start. And picking up that phone is the most important part of your business. I'm telling you, if you give somebody a phone, they are your business. If you pick up the phone, you are the business. And if you want to act rushed and busy and overwhelmed and hassled and stressed with me on the phone, well, you're making a bad mistake. So think about that. First impressions are very important. Lasting impressions are what's really important. But boy, when you have an opportunity, and it's opportunity is the word, to make an impression to somebody new in your life, boy, don't shoot yourself in the foot. I raised a question during today's call on, I'm not an English teacher, I don't want to be an English teacher, but I do spot things that my inner circle members are doing wrong. They're making errors, and I questioned myself. I said, they're not paying me to be their English teacher. They're not paying me to correct them. But there's a couple of things that I see over and over again. I just want to highlight in a soft way here that advice is a noun. You give advice. That's with a C, V-I-C-E. A lot of people spell advice with an S, and it spells advise. Advise is a verb. You advise people. You give people advice, but you advise people. Now, a lot of you get it wrong, and I don't want to embarrass you, so look at that and get it right. Advice versus advise is the difference between the C and the S. There's another word that people make a mistake on, and it's irregardless. Irregardless, folks, is not a word. It's a non-word. There's no such thing. Irregardless. The word is regardless. It's not irregardless of the temperature. It's regardless of the temperature. Now, if you insist on using it, that's your business. But don't tell me that you haven't been told. So when you make a mistake, it's it's not out of ignorance. It's because you choose to make a mistake. So irregardless is not a word, and it may be a dialect, I don't know, but ask is a word. Ax is not a word. If you ask me a question, I mean, I'm going to talk to you, but I'm going to start thinking about what's going on here. The word is ask, not ax. The word is regardless, not irregardless. And if I'm going to give advice, I'm going to advise you to pay attention to my advice. So there you go. That's the English lesson for today. Consider yourself warned. And here's something that came across my desk today. I commented on during today's meeting. The fact that they spelled sabotage wrong doesn't make a big deal. I'm not going to belabor that one. It's T-A-G-E, I think. But the point is, when I saw that, stop the sabotage. What they're saying is stop shooting yourself in the foot. That's what they're saying. And when I saw that, I said, whoa, I remember a blog post I wrote years ago. And it was after I met a person at a meeting who said the phrase to me. He said, we have to learn to drop our rocks. And what that means, I loved it when I heard it. And I did a blog post on it. And it's the blog post you'll find on MikeMarshev.com down the bottom of the blog list. It's drop your rock. And what it amounts to is that we all have baggage. We're all carrying baggage. And when you carry excessive weight, baggage, bad vibes around, it's killing us. It's hurting us. You lose 10 pounds, you say, holy cow, that's a lot of weight. You lose 20 pounds, you can't believe you've been carrying 20 pounds around with you. Pick up a 20-pound weight and carry it around for the day. Tell me how you feel. Well, that's the same thing with your mental baggage. You're not forgiving somebody. You resent something. You're not letting something go. You're carrying the past and bringing it into the future. Drop the baggage, folks. I don't know what your baggage is. You don't want to know mine. I don't necessarily want to know yours. But drop it. Get rid of it. Come to terms with it. Whatever happened yesterday is yesterday's news. You can't do anything about that. Forget it. Get over it. Let's move forward. Read another good book. Meet another good person. Start sculpting your life the way you want it sculpted. Don't be hanging on yesterday's baggage. So dropping the rock is a reminder that you're carrying something that you don't need to be. Come to terms with it, get rid of it, and move on. And that was triggered by an email that came through today. And the reason I had that question mark on top is because I think I spelled sabotage wrong, and during today's meeting I erased it so nobody would badmouth me. So I was also looking through blog posts on LinkedIn, and one of the blogs that I joined is called Fresh Sales Strategies. And here's how you use it. I shared on today's call how to use this. Go through blog posts and read them. Now, this particular one in blue, started by Lisa Davini there, says, I just read How to Increase Return Voicemails. Now, the fact that she spelled voicemails wrong, who cares? It makes no difference. By Tibor Shanto. And then she commented on that. But I saw the word voicemail, and I said, that's a good topic, voicemail. But then I looked to see how many comments there were, and there was 18 people responded to this blog post. Now, that's how you become intelligent, by watching blogs. Someone's going to post something, and you look to the comments, and there'll be 1. Someone will post something, there'll be 2. Well, someone will post something, and you'll see 400 comments. Well, that's telling the marketing person that that's a hot topic. 400 people are chiming in with their opinion. So that's how I use blogs, is to find out what's hot today. Well, voicemails is hot if you think 18 is more than 1. So you might want to read through those and get a feeling for what people are thinking. You can do the same thing, by following travel blogs. If somebody throws a blog up in Bermuda and nobody comments, then it might not be a hot topic. But if 100 people comment to Alaska, then it's telling you that people are thinking about Alaska. So it's a marketing, research, gambit, tactic, strategy, whatever you want to call it. I saw a couch somewhere on the internet, and I was reminded back in the days when I was training, I couldn't get to the pool until 11 o'clock at night because that's when all of the classes stopped. So actually it was 10 o'clock, but between 10 o'clock and 11, I could get into the YMCA pool and do my laps and do my training. And I would come home from work at 5 o'clock and have dinner at 6 o'clock and sit down and watch TV. And it's cold and snowing outside, and it's 8 o'clock, 8:30, 9, 9:30. At 9:45, oh, man, I have to get off the couch. I've got to put my coat on. I got to go out in the garage, get the car, back it up, drive to the YMCA, get out of the car, into the locker room, get into my trunks. Well, once I was swimming, I loved it. I mean, once I was in the water, it was great. But the hard part of that whole scenario was getting off the couch. It was breaking the inertia. I'm comfortable now. I'm warm now. I'm in a safe place now. And it was getting off of that couch, which was the hardest part of training for the Ironman. Once you started the run, it was great. Once you started the bike, it was great. Once you got in the water, it was great. But it was getting off the couch. And I put that up on Facebook. Some of you probably saw it. And all I'm saying is the hard part is getting your butt in motion. That's what I'm saying. Once you're in motion, it's fun. It happens. But it's overcoming the inertia. It's dropping the rock and moving in the right direction. That's what it's all about. And this offer came through my email box this morning. It was a digital ebook on 10 big ideas on customer delight. And I challenged the folks on the line today to say, send me something that you do to delight your customers. And let's share them. Let's share our ideas. That's what this club is all about, is sharing. We're not doing enough of it, but I want more of it. Sharing what you do to satisfy your customers. I personally think loyalty is almost a non-word today. It's strictly what have you, I've known you, Mike, for 20 years, but what have you done for me this morning? Loyalty is it's not a lot of weight in that word. So what do you do in your attempt to gain your customers' loyalty? That's what this slide was all about. And the last slide was one of our members sent this to me today, and this is an abbreviated meeting. Today's meeting took 55 minutes. You're getting the you're getting the what do you call that book? That little quick book? Any quick notes? Cliff notes. Cliff notes. The secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. Forget the 5 months behind us. We have June in front of us. We have July and August, and we have the 7 months in front of us to build our business. Let's focus all of our energy, everything we've got, on today and tomorrow and the next day. Let's forget yesterday. Let's drop our rocks and move forward so at the end of the year we can really be proud of ourselves. That's the challenge. That's what I wanted to offer today. And I asked the group, we played around with the polling gizmo, and that's where I think I screwed things up today. I was fooling around with the polling, and I forgot to turn it off, and we couldn't record the meeting. But in any event, I asked how many people belong to our Facebook page, and about 75% of those on the call were. So I challenged the rest, if they wanted to get in, go to MikeMarchev.com/menu. That brings us to the menu page, which you are all familiar with, of our Inner Circle program. Slide down, scroll down to the Facebook icon, and click it, and then register and get into Facebook, because that's where we can share our ideas. That's where we can collaborate, if you will. So that's what you missed today. It was a beauty. It was about 55 minutes. We laughed. We screwed things up. We had a great time today. And this is the Clipbook side. So you got the short form. Go through these slides again. Take a look at them. Think about them. Reflect. And here's the key point. Forget yesterday. Drop the baggage. Let's move on. Let's be successful. Read more good books. Hang out with more good people. And let's become the winners that we all need to be. So that's it. I'm hanging up. I'm calling this meeting over. It's abbreviated. Either you're not lucky or you are lucky for this abbreviated form. You be the judge. I'll talk to you next time. This is Mike, and I'll say goodbye right now. Bye.